All right, morning all. Here we go. Welcome back. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific will be the start time for the first game of the night. There will be two starting at 10 o'clock Eastern, or no, three starting at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, sorry. As most of the games are later games. So for West Coast people, they're going to be enjoying this. For East Coast people, you probably just want to go to bed. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start time between the Winnipeg Jets and the Buffalo Sabres. On December 14th, Buffalo won in Winnipeg 4-2. So we'll see how the rematch goes tonight. Winnipeg, it's a big game. Every game's a big game. Every game is the most important game of the year. Don't make a drinking game out of that at this time of year. It will not end well because you will hear it a lot. Must win, must win, must win. Biggest game of the year. So for Winnipeg, they're 32, 25, and 10 overall. Last 10 games, they're 7 and 3. They have won 2 in a row. Away from home, they're 13, 12, and 8 overall. They're 3 points behind Dallas. They're 2 points behind the Vegas Golden Knights. On the Buffalo side, they're 24, 33, and 10 overall. Last 10 games, they're 6, 2, and 2. They did win their last game. At home, they're 12, 16, and 5. They're 2 points behind Detroit. They're 3 points ahead of both New Jersey and the Philadelphia Flyers. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific start time between the Rangers and Detroit. You will notice that, yes, I have put a trap magnet under that. So for anybody who may not be aware, and I don't use them very often, this is your Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. Because the New York Rangers win a big emotional game last night against Pittsburgh. It was a really good game for them. It would be understandable if those emotions are lower against Detroit. Detroit's coming off of an embarrassing loss. Teams coming off of an embarrassing loss very often will bounce back and have a pretty good game the next time out. So February 17th was the first time these teams met this year. That was a 3-2 shootout victory for the Detroit Red Wings. The third and final meeting between these teams will be April 16th. On the Rangers side of things, they're 43, 19, and 5 overall. Last 10 games, they're 7 and 3. They have won 3 in a row. Away from home, they're 21, 13, and 2. They're 5 points behind Carolina for first place in the division. So Carolina's not playing tonight, so they can make that a 3-point lead. And they're 1 point ahead of the Pittsburgh Penguins. On the Detroit side, they're 26, 32, and 8. Their last 10 games, they're 2, 6, and 2. They did lose their last game, and again, spectacular fashion. At home, they're 17, 12, and 5. They're 7 points behind the New York Islanders. They're 2 points ahead of Buffalo. So this is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be a fun one, too, because, again, Detroit coming off that embarrassing loss, they have to bounce back. And for the Rangers, can they keep that emotional level up? Can they keep that compete level up? Can they win on back-to-back nights? Which has also been a challenge for teams this year. Back-to-backs, teams will usually lose one or the other. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific start time between the Kings and the Oilers. This should be the game of the night. This is the battle for second place in the division. So December 5th, LA wins 5-1 against the Oilers. February 15th, the Oilers win 5-2 against the Kings. So we'll see how it goes with the rubber match tonight, keeping in mind that they meet again on April 7th. The LA Kings 36, 23, and 9 overall. Last 10 games, they're 4, 4, and 2. They lost their last game. Away from home, they're 18, 9, and 5. They're 7 points behind Calgary. They're 2 points ahead of the Oilers, who they're playing tonight. Oilers, 37, 25, and 5. Last 10 games, they're 7, 2, and 1. They have won their last game coming into this one, and we'll see whether or not they can keep that going. That, of course, was against Arizona. They're 21 and 12 at home. They are 2 points behind the Kings. As stated, they're 3 points ahead of Vegas. So for the Oilers, it's not just a matter of trying to catch the Kings. It's a matter of trying to stay ahead of that playoff line. So this really should be the best game of the night. And we'll see how it goes. Then 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, the start time between St. Louis and Vancouver. St. Louis has won both of the first two meetings. January 23rd, 3-1. March 28th, 4-1. And now on the second half of back-to-backs between these two teams, St. Louis looking to make it a clean sweep. As a Canuck fan, honestly, starting to think it might be time to rip the Band-Aid off and have this team just fall out of contention. So for St. Louis, they're 36, 20, and 9 overall. Last 10 games, they are 4, 4, and 2. But they did win that last game against Vancouver. Away from home, they're 15, 11, and 5. They're now 1 point behind Nashville, who won last night. They're 4 points ahead of Dallas, who also won last night. Vancouver is 32, 27, and 9. Their last 10 games, they're 3, 4, and 3. They did lose that last game in St. Louis. And it was a successful road trip. But a 2-1-1 road trip does not get you closer to the playoffs. At home, they're 14, 13, and 5. 4 points behind Dallas, 3 points behind Vegas, and 1 point behind the Winnipeg Jets. So we'll see how things go tonight. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start time between San Jose and the Arizona Coyotes. San Jose's won the first 2 meetings, so this is the final meeting of the season. They're looking for the clean sweep. 8-7 shootout victory on December 28th, which was a ridiculous game, and a 4-2 win on March 20th for San Jose, which was a far more quiet game. I don't want to say boring. I didn't say boring. Did you say boring? All right. San Jose's 29, 28, and 8 overall. Last 10 games, they're 5-3-2. They did win their last game. Away from home, they're 13, 14, and 4. They're 7 points behind the Dallas Stars. No, that's Vancouver. That's right. They're further behind Dallas than that. I got to trust my numbers sometimes. So they're 7 points behind Vancouver. They're 1 point ahead of Anaheim, and obviously not a playoff team this year. For the Arizona Coyotes, they're 20, 41, and 5 overall. Last 10 games, they're 3, 6, and 1. They lost their last game. At home, they're 9, 22, and 1. They're 3 points behind Seattle in that bottom spot in the West. Seattle's in action tonight as well at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, at home against Vegas for the first of a 2 spot against the Vegas Golden Knights. So Seattle went to LA. They played LA twice. Now they come home. They play Vegas twice. Vegas has won both meetings with this team so far, 4-3 on October 12th and 4-2 on November 9th. The final meeting between these teams will be April 1st, also in Seattle. So the Vegas Golden Knights, a record of 36, 28, and 4. Last 10 games, they're 4-6. They have won 2 in a row. Away from home, they're 16, 15, and 1. They're 1 point behind Dallas and 3 points behind Edmonton. So really, for Vegas, every game is a must-win. Absolutely must-win. Vegas game of the year. Like I said, do not make a drinking game of it. Seattle, 21, 39, and 6 is the overall record. Last 10 games, 4, 5, and 1. They did win their last game over LA. They are 11, 18, and 3 at home. They're 3 points ahead of Arizona. And really, it is about trying to give the fans in this inaugural season something to cheer about. So they're going to try to at least ruin somebody else's playoff dreams since they don't have them for themselves. So we'll see how it goes with them in Vegas. Let me know your thought, your picks in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Just tap it upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.